Good morning, dear students. Welcome you all. In the history class today, we will continue the subtopics, the remaining subtopics from the chapter. The chapter name is 18th Century Political Formations. In the previous class, we discussed the subtopic Emergence of New States. Let's recap from the subtopic. Dear student, you know that the Mughal emperors, the governors of provinces, Subedars and the great Jamindars consolidated their authority in different parts of the subcontinent. And through the 18th century, the Mughal Empire gradually fragmented into a number of independent regional states. Understand? So, broadly speaking, we can say that the states of the 18th century can be divided into three overlapping groups. First one is states that were old, the states that were old Mughal provinces like Awadh, Hyderabad, Bengal, and afterward the second one is states that had enjoyed considerable independence under the Mughals as Watan Jagirs, and third one is the last group included states under the last group indicated states under the control of Marathas, Sikhs and other like the Jats. So, afterward we will discuss the further subtopics from the chapter. So, you have to enjoy the chapter. Let us come on the chapter with new subtopics. Dear students, now we will start the chapter with the first subtopic, and the first subtopic is the old Mughal provinces, and these were Awadh, Bengal and Hyderabad. The three states were founded by members of the high Mughal nobility who had been governors of larger provinces. Understand? So, Saadat Khan, the governor of Awadh, and Murshid Quli Khan, the governor of Bengal, and Asaf Jah, the governor of Hyderabad. All three had occupied high mansabdari positions, understand, and enjoyed the trust and confidence of the emperors, understand. Both Asaf Jah and Murshid Quli Khan held a Jat rank of 7,000 each, while Saadat Khan Jat was 6,000. Understand? Jat indicates that how much troops they had. Understand? And now the next subtopic is Hyderabad. Dear student, you know that Nizam ul Mulk Asaf Jah, the founder of Hyderabad state 1724 to 1748, was one of the most powerful members of the court. Understand? And court of the Mughal Emperor Farrukhsiyar, and he was entrusted first with the governorship of Awadh. Understand? And later given the charge of Deccan, South India, and you know that, so he had taken the advantage, and taking subsequent advantage of the turmoil means turmoil is a condition where we can say that the disturbance in the Deccan. So, he took the advantage of the turmoil in the Deccan and the competition amongst the court nobility. He gathered power in his hands and became the actual ruler of the region. Understand? Dear student, you know that Asaf Jah Bhat, he also brought skilled soldiers and administrators from northern India, and afterward he welcomed the new opportunities from northern India. he welcomed the new opportunities in the south. So he firstly brought skilled soldiers and administrators from northern India, and he appointed mansabdars and granted jagirs. Understand? Although he was still a servant of the Mughal emperor, he ruled quite independently without seeking any direction from Delhi or facing any interference. Understand? The Mughal emperor merely confirmed the decisions already taken by Nizamul Mulk Asaf Jahan. Afterward, the state of Hyderabad was continuously engaged in a struggle against the Marathas to the west and with independent Telugu warrior chiefs Nayakas of the plateau region. Understand? The ambitions of Nizamul Mulk Asaf Jah to control the rich textile producing areas of the Coromandel coast in the east were checked by the British, who were becoming increasingly powerful in that region. The next subtopic is Awadh. You know that Burhan ul Mulk Sadat Khan was appointed Subedar of Awadh in 1722 and founded a state which was one of the most important to emerge out of the break of the Mughal Empire. Understand? Awadh was a prosperous region. Why? Prosperous region and controlling because here in Awadh region we get the rich alluvial Ganga and the Ganga plain, and we know that the main trade route between North India and Bengal. Burhan ul Mulk also held the combined offices of Subedari, Diwani and Fauzdari. In other words, he was responsible for managing the political, financial and military affairs of the province of Awadh. Understand? Burhan ul Mulk tried to decrease Mughal influence in the Awadh region by decreasing Mughal influence. Burhan ul Mulk, you know that, tried to decrease Mughal influence in the Awadh region by reducing the number of office holders, Jagirdars, and he appointed the Jagirdars who were appointed by the Mughals. He also reduced the size of Jagirs and appointed his own local servants to vacant positions. Understand? The accountants of Jagirdars were checked to prevent cheating of the revenues of all districts, and he reassessed, and it was also reassessed by officials appointed by the Nawab's court. Understand? And you know that the state depended on local bankers and Mahajan for loans. It sold the right to collect tax to the highest bidders, and these revenue farmers, Ijradar means revenue farmers, agreed to pay a state a fixed sum of money. Understand? And so the revenue farmers were given considerable freedom. The reassessment and collection of taxes, and these developments allowed new local groups like money lenders and bankers to influence the management of the state revenue system. Understand?